some reverse trick-or-treating?
Yes!
Alright, so the first stop is the Labor Relations Office. Our beloved lead negotiator, Brian Harrington. He is in office 330, so let's all head into Whitmore together, upstairs, and all stop in the lobby of the 3rd floor, and we'll regroup there and we'll go to his office. Sounds good?
Yeah.
So let's be nice and packed, let's be nice together, and let's head in there.
All right, let's go.
Hello to some folks over here.
Oh yeah. That's right. Yeah. Let's get it on. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, 3rd floor lobby. We'll regroup at the 3rd floor lobby. Third floor lobby. Regroup at the 3rd floor lobby.
Pardon me. Something like that. Excuse me, pardon me.
Yes, good. Oh, sorry. I'm happy to be down here. Thank you. It's so hard to read.
Yeah, I got to make my own.
Yeah. Such a beautiful instrument once you play it.
But when you...
Must be nice when you play
You got that.
Thank you. Not like
All right. We're looking for 330. Where is 330? This way.
Right. Which way? Which way?
330.
Left or right?
330.
Left or right?
Left or right?
I'm guessing left.
now it's like that.
Let's go in here. Yeah, let's get a talk to the finance chancellor.
Where are you from?
So here's the plan, folks. We're going to have, at each place, we're going to have 15 people pick one. You pick one, you read it, and you hand it, and then we'll do that 15 times in each place. So if we have our first 15 volunteers. Line up. Yeah, so go in, read it, and who they give
I'll
you got it.
in a minute.
You read it? Who's gonna read it?
You can read it. Just I'll do like the setup.
Okay.
Just be patient.
Does anyone wear? Oh yeah. He's got some sort of genetic thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been a lot.
360 that way.
So just end up living this car. She's not that problem. Although there is some sharp there. I don't know. I was trying to talk to the Vice Chancellor for Finances.
Who is that?
Hopefully they know something about our raises, right? Trying to sneak out.
Would you like to do
I don't know what kind of.
Windows.
strawberry?
I apologize.
That's alright. 19th century.
It's kind of do that.
Trying to escape the radical.
Hello, how's it going?
Pretty good. So I can't track him down. He's not in his office. So is there something you can
Heard
leave
we were
me
coming.
that I can give him?
No.
I'm sorry. The executive director for A&F operations. So I work administration and finance.
All right, great. So I'm Santiago. I am the co-chair for GEO. We are the union that represents and protect grad workers here on campus.
Are you guys
And
filming
these-
and you're also you're
The media's
what's-
here, our members are here. We were
Okay,
told
so I
to
just-
come to administration because we are bargaining our contract. We will not get raises.
I'm happy
And
to
Brian
know.
Harrington,
Yeah.
which you may know, told us specifically to come to pressure the
Okay.
chancellor, the vice chancellors, the provost, because his hands are tied.
Okay.
And we have yet to receive a economic proposal from them.
Mhm.
So if someone if people
I just
could
wanted
read,
to know that I was being taped. I mean, that's something you should have
are
let us
being
know.
taped.
Looks
Okay.
like it.
So is there something you need to give me
Yeah,
that
we
I
have
can
some.
give
We have
him?
some messages for administrators.
And
Go ahead.
Are you
So-
gonna leave it with me so I
Yes,
don't have to
yeah.
remember them? Okay.
Maybe we got some
It's a
candy for
nightmare
you.
because
Do
you
I
won't
need a
meet our
basket?
needs. Yeah, that might be helpful.
Can I get a
There's
basket?
gonna be a bunch of them.
Yeah,
First of all, can I eat these?
if you read the message.
Okay.
Only if you read the
I
message.
wouldn't want to eat them and then find out I was like.
But make sure no one has peanut allergies either.
Yeah, no peanut
Well, let the
allergies.
Vice
My wage-
Chancellor know that we hope that he enjoys his payday because our paydays certainly are not
Oh,
adequate to
exactly.
eat.
So that, oh, I get it, payday.
My wage is a nightmare because I'm married and must live with roommates.
Thank you.
Not a fun situation.
My wage is a nightmare because I can't pursue my life as a caregiver.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you.
My wage is a nightmare because it makes it impossible to study. I'm hungry and cold and overworked, stressed out about rent.
Thank you.
My wage is a nightmare because I can't afford to see my family because I have no income over the summer.
My wage is a nightmare because I struggle to pay rent and keep on food to keep myself going.
My wage is a nightmare because I can't afford both groceries and rent. I have not been home to see my family in Europe for 5 years because I can't afford it.
My wage is a nightmare because the cost of living in this area is going up. Can't make it on these wages.
My wage is a nightmare because it is difficult to save for unexpected expenses.
My wage is a nightmare because I've had to work at Walmart over the summer instead of making progress on my grad school responsibilities.
My wage is a nightmare because balancing rent and cost of living means I can't afford Halloween candy.
You want this back?
I didn't look.
My wage is a nightmare because it is very stressful to live on low wages.
My wage is a nightmare because loans don't pay themselves.
My wage is a nightmare because it is a constant struggle to pay for basic human needs, including food and shelter. My wage is a nightmare because admin steals my meager wages with fees.
Sorry, I missed
UMass admin steals my meager wages with fees.
No, I think I'm good. Okay, I'll make sure the vice chancellor gets these, and thank you very much.
And could you please tell him to tell Brian Harrington to bargain with us in a respectful and dignified way. We have been waiting since April for a wage proposal. What he gave us was a 6% conditional raise, which he said was just a placeholder. No one will tell us what our wages are. We can't possibly move forward in bargaining if the administration doesn't come to the table with concrete numbers.
Okay, so Santiago, do we have your contact information?
Or you have.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Thank
Thank you.
Sorry.
All right. One down. Nyari. Oh yeah, we have a couple more reverse trick or treating.
Where is this? Oh yeah, that's right. You're giving treats. Okie dokie. Thank you.
Nyari, where are we going next?
We're going to.
We could just go to the Chancellor's office.
Yeah. Oh, the labor.
Did we find where he is?
Justin. Do you know if he?
Oh, right.
Right. Like Marshall just heading that way.
Is that door open? Is that
I think
where his offices are?
Brian's office is supposed to be 330A, so I'm not sure.
Oh, it's probably there. Should we just head to the Chancellor's office?
That's fine.
Let's go. All right, everybody, down that hall to the right. Let's regroup inside the Chancellor's office.
Okay.
And we'll do this.
Excuse me. Sorry. Yeah. That's right. Show them the gangs are here. When the going gets tough, your friends will be there. That's right. The gangs are here. When the going gets tough, your friends will be there. Hail, the gangs are here. When the going gets tough, they'll be where. Oh yeah, I love doing this. Keep pressing them. I don't give up. Pressing people, I don't. So continue to watch the show. It's about to get juicy in here. Oh yeah.
20 people, ideally loud voices, line up for the next round.
I'm ready.
Okay. Ideally us loud voices and someone who hasn't done it before. First party. Okay. Enough. Can we get a few more women up in here? Any women wanna? Okay, gotcha. Right there.
Oh, just Ellie? Yeah. And then you're gonna go and read it loud and then hand it to whoever Santi tells you to hand it to. First.
Come on, everyone. It's a public university. They told us to come talk to them. Come on in. Hey, how's it going?
Well, I prefer not to be taken.
How's it going? We are here. Santiago, co-chair for GEO, the union that represents and protects grad workers. We have some of our members here. We're doing a reverse trick-or-treating.
Okay.
We have a message for upper administrators. We are here specifically because Brian Harrington, the lead negotiator for the university, I don't know if you know him, told us to come. Is the chancellor here or the provost?
The chancellor is not here, and the provost is not here right now, but I'm the chief of staff. I'm happy to.
Oh, really?
Yes,
You're
I'm
the chief
new.
of staff? Well,
Yes.
congratulations on your job.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so here's the issue. We have been negotiating with the university since April. In April, we presented to them a substantive package of proposals to negotiate. Part of the package was an 18% wage increase over the next 3 years. The university took all of the summer and then some to respond to our wage increase, which as of today is one of the most important demands that we have. The university said that they could offer us a 6% conditional wage increase, conditional on state funding in Boston. What is really problematic about that is that our contract is university funded, not state funded. So we didn't understand why that was being given to us. When we asked for further explanation from Brian, he said that that was a placeholder, that that was not the real number that they were offering us, that he had felt the pressure and then he just needed to give us something. So we said, okay, fair enough. In further negotiations, please bring us the actual proposal that you have. Last time when we talked to him, he said that his hands were tied, that he did not have a wage proposal for us, that the chancellor had a number in mind, that he had shared it with Brian, and that it was so low and so offensive that he wasn't even going to bother to present us with that number. So we're in a catch-22, in which we are under the impression that the lead negotiator of the university is charged with giving us clear answers, and he's insisting that his hands are tied, and we're here because he told us to come. He said, pressure the chancellor, pressure the provost, pressure the administration, because my hands are tied. I can't even tell you what the number that it is because it's so low and so offensive. Whenever we talk to administrators, they say, we don't want to comment on open bargaining. So that's why we're here. We really need to get some clarity as to what our raises are going to be. And to express why we need those raises, we have some direct testimonials from our members that can speak to that. Nyari, would you like to hand those out? Do we want to read some?
Yeah. After I read some, there are also a few students who are going to read some statements from some of the graduate students here. This is a testimonial from a PhD student in the College of Education. He's an international student. He is a graduate student parent, so he has a family, 2 kids and a wife, and he lives in North Village Housing, which is the family housing complex for the university. It's 20 hours assistantship, the maximum that an international student can get, available to all international students, and enough for graduate students with a family. Are there alternative options for international students' families who hold an N visa to work and contribute in paying rent and bills? The answer is no. As an international graduate student, I came here to follow my dream, to receive a good education in order to serve my people better. However, the moment I arrived at the university complex, I had to deal with various forms of financial issues that I did not assume to be a great deal. But as they accumulate, it becomes undoable for a student whose financial state mostly depends on stipends paid bi-weekly by the university. Here are a few examples of what that I would like to draw your attention to. Health insurance and co-payments. As a single student taking care of a family, one may not feel these expenses as much as students with families do. For instance, last year, I had to pay co-pays every time my wife and kids visited their health clinics. Given that UHS does not have services for pregnant women, I had to find local practice centers to treat and observe the health condition of my wife. To the extent that my student insurance covered was satisfactory, but co-payments were very high, that was beyond my budget and affordability. Of course, I had to take care of my family and pay these expenses, but that means I had to cut expenses on grocery and quality of food. It is important for me as a GEO member to note that on cutting expenses on groceries, there are many other testimonials from graduate students on food insecurity. People have to go to food banks here in the area to survive. Housing and rent. North Village apartments are apparently cheaper compared to off-campus housing for students with families. But because of high demand, students have to wait on a waiting list for a very long time. If they are lucky, they then move into those apartments. In terms of affordability, you need to pay around $1,000 per 2-bedroom apartment. Given how much you are paid as a stipend and the amount you pay for courses, health insurance, car insurance, phone bills, you can barely afford this rent. In sum, I would like to mention that given where one comes from, a lot of international students could barely get loans to pay these expenses while being a student. The worst scenario is that your mind is very much affected by financial issues, that you cannot even focus and concentrate well in your academics. That is the reason why we are here. This is just one of the thousands of stories that graduate students have about their nightmare experiences when it comes to wages.
And we have some of those. Anna, if you want to read yours. And hand that, we're doing reverse trick-or-treat. So we have a statement attached to a payday candy, because I know administrators are getting their payday, but we are not.
My wage is a nightmare because I take out loans every semester to pay for health insurance and student fees. Abolish student fees, other schools have.
My wage is a nightmare because my wife and I need to live off credit cards to supplement what we don't make in real wages.
My wage is a nightmare because I'm not sure if I can afford heating this winter once my school fees are deducted.
My wage is a nightmare because my rent is more than 60% of my income, and I've had to live on ramen for a week plus straight.
My wage is a nightmare because the rent is just too damn high.
My wage is a nightmare because I can't afford books for conferences. I don't know how I can compete.
My wage is a nightmare because I couldn't afford school without 2 jobs and a loan.
My wage is a nightmare because I can't afford the heating at home and it's getting cold.
My wage is a nightmare because it's very stressful to pay my bills with low wages.
My wage is a nightmare because I can't pay my rent.
My wage is a nightmare because I can't afford to finish my degree on time. I have to pick up extra work just to pay basic bills.
My wage is a nightmare because I must work a lot for my PhD study, but I always get only 10 hours a week. My parents are still covering my rent. It's so sad.
My wage is a nightmare because our wages don't provide enough to live with dignity in an area with a high cost of living.
My wage is a nightmare because I have to work 2 jobs and I hardly have enough time to sleep or to do any schoolwork.
My wages are a nightmare because I can't buy all the books needed for my studies.
My wage is a nightmare because I had to pay hundreds of dollars in hospital bills and I cannot pay them all at once and I had to wait and pay with my tax return.
My wage is a nightmare because I have to pay back credit cards that have been used to buy groceries and basic needs because my salary wasn't sufficient last month. It keeps on adding up.
My wage is a nightmare because I need to go to food banks for the poorest, a GEO member. Thank you.
My wages are a nightmare because as a non-traditional 30-year-old student, I can't pay my rent and I'm forced to spend all the time that I should be putting towards my work working.
My wage is a nightmare because I qualify for low-income heating fuel assistance.
My wage is a nightmare because I can't afford to go to the chiropractor anymore to manage my chronic neck and back pain, which affects me every day.
My wage is a nightmare because I'm 35 and have to live with a roommate from Craigslist because I can't afford my own place.
My wage is a nightmare because I'm going without heat until December in order to pay my groceries bill.
Okay, so you've heard from our members directly. We have we published an open letter to the Chancellor yesterday that we have for you. And again, we expect a response on Monday, concretely in paper at the bargaining table. But we did want to ask you, what is our raise? What is the university's position? We've said 18% over the next 3 years. Waivers on fees, waivers on health insurance. The lead negotiator won't even tell us what the number is because the chancellor has something in mind. He told us specifically to come to the chancellor's office because here we will be able to find some answers for our bargaining team and for our membership. As you see, our membership desperately needs a wage increase. So what is the number that the chancellor has in mind?
Unfortunately, I'm not able to answer that question for you, but I will make sure that he gets this and well prepared at the bargaining.
Okay, well, thanks so much. Appreciate it. Please let him know that this is directly from the members, from workers across the campus. And that, again, Brian Harrington, the lead negotiator, told us to come here, and it's very problematic that his lead negotiator is not being charged with bargaining fairly and in good faith, and that we have to come here to find out what's going on, and we won't even get a straight answer as to what our wages are. And as the letter says, we know that the athletic director receives a $300,000 contract. He has a free car. He gets a country club expenditure of $7,500. And our people have to go to the Survivor Center to feed their families. And it just speaks to where the priorities of the Chancellor are. Are we here to produce knowledge, or are we here for a football program? We have yet to figure out what exactly UMass priority is, so we really need to know so we can move forward in these negotiations.
I will pass that message on.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
We hope he enjoys the game.
All right, back downstairs. Let's regroup in the lobby of where are we at? Whitmore. Back to downstairs.
All right, yeah.